Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here. I got a good video for you today. Today's video is about inside the world's toughest prisons, which is Rafael Rowe's show. He's a great guy, I know him, and I'm gonna review something he did in prison, in the Greece prison. It's the smuggler's prison, they call it. But before we get started, please check us out on YouTube member programs. Check me out on Discord, Patreon, all of those platforms. Please check us out. We got a big day coming up tomorrow, everybody. We're giving away the cruise, and the crookeddiamondcigar.com thing is going great. So just check us out on all these places, please, and have a great time following us. Let's get into this video because I love this kind of stuff. I mean, I really do. This is what I live for, these kind of prison stuff and all that kind of stuff. All right, let's jump around here, and we're gonna go right to a couple of scenes.
People smugglers. Even before this crisis, Greek prisons were starved of cash and had a reputation for violence.
Is it?
Εδώ κάτσε γύρνα σε μένα. Παίρνετε ναρκωτικά.
No, I don't take drugs.
Ξεντηθείτε και αφήστε όλα σας τα ρούχα.
Now, Rafael Rowe is going back into this prison. It's a rough prison. It's a maximum security prison in Greece. I can't do that. I'm telling you, I give him a lot of credit. I cannot do that. I cannot be put in handcuffs like that again without me going crazy. I just can't do it, guys. It just drives me crazy. Look at this. I get the fucking nerves. I get the fucking really EBGBs calling around of this kind of stuff because of the prison. But he gets through it, and I give him a lot of credit.
Παίρνετε ναρκωτικά.
No, I don't take drugs.
Ξεντηθείτε και αφήστε όλα σας τα ρούχα πάνω στο τραπέζι. Παρακαλώ, ανοίξτε το στόμα σας.
See, what he's going through here, everybody, is just the body searches. You know, they don't bother me. I tell people all the time, I know this is gonna sound weird or whatever it is, but I could bend down, spread my ass, fucking, you know, cough, all that crap, lift my nuts, open my mouth. Doesn't bother me at all. I know it sounds weird that maybe I lost kind of that dignity or that way about myself. It is what it is. But I think it would freak a lot of people out. But when you did it so many times in your life, it doesn't freak you out anymore. It doesn't.
And they all seem like really nice guys. The block is about to be locked down for the night. We do have a hole in the floor toilet in the cell, but the hot water's off.
Now, here Rafael has in the cell, he's a typical cell, but you know, even in American prisons, we didn't have hot water. We had one button. I mean, you didn't have hot water and cold water. It wasn't like that. So I'm not thinking, you know, where this is that bad right now. Obviously the conditions crappy and all that, but that's kind of a normal stuff. Let's continue.
I'm told it's been out for nearly a week.
See, we don't, in American style prisons, we didn't have things where you keep the turn on a faucet and turn it off. You didn't have that. There were buttons, and they had pressure, and it kept it, and then it go off. Kept having to keep putting the pressure button to wash your hands or do something like that, or wash your face in the morning and stuff like that. That's what you had to do.
It feels suffocating. 4 of us squeezed into a few square meters. So this is my sleeping space. They have things in the cells, television, drinks. So there are some comforts.
They have a lot more comforts that you had in American prison. And I was in a prison kind of like this when I was in Atlanta in a holdover. You know, when they had the we put 7 men in a 2-man cell. And that was in the holdover when I went crazy and I started fighting and everything. They threw me out of that fucking prison and put me actually in the prison hole. This is from behind the glass in Atlanta. Can't go much fucking further down than that.
Cell. It's a small space. And you feel it. Sitting here, you feel it.
Now, he's definitely saying he feels you feel it. I get that. You totally, 100%. But you get used to that, and you get used to the people around you. Believe it or not, you know who your cellie is, you're jacking off, you do whatever the fuck you do, and it is what it is. But you actually get used to the people around you. So he has more creatures of comfort than I could have had or would have had. Now, they call this the people's prison in Greece, and we're going to keep going on that.
It's my first morning inside Diavata prison. How you sleep through 4 men in a cell making grunting noises, but...
You know, Raphael had to sleep through 4 guys making the cells and stuff, and that, you know, again... When you transfer in American prisons, or you're in the buses, you're in Atlanta, you're wherever, you're gonna be fucking in the worst conditions as this, at least. And then you go to the compound, they call it, and you're gonna be sometimes just as bad. So far, not bad. We're gonna move up a little bit. We're gonna talk about his hygienic areas as well.
Production skills. They've asked him to fix the hot water and armed him with the tools for the job.
Here you have them giving guys construction equipment like it's nothing to go through walls to fix the hot water. Wow, this is called trust, or just, I don't get it yet. Maybe I'm missing something so far. I mean, and I'm just going around on Raphael Rowe's show. I'm just kind of trying to compare him to American prisons. At this point, I know I asked Raphael to come to America and but they won't let him go in prisons in the United States. They won't let that happen. So that's the problem there.
How many times did you stab the guy?
3 φορές. Δικάστηκε γι' αυτό, 10 χρόνια έφαγα. Και την πλήρωσα πολύ ακριβά. Όταν κάνεις κάτι πληρώνεις.
Listen, that's nothing new in anybody's life. You owe somebody money, pay, or you get stabbed. Just the way it is. I know I'm being hard. I know I'm being saying what I'm saying, guys, but it's the truth. In prison, listen. What people don't know about prisons, I guess, and I know you guys watch enough of my shows, but things are amplified in prison. And here's what I mean by that. When I say amplified, respect. You bump into somebody on the streets, people don't care. I watch it in New York. I watch it in Manhattan. I watch everything go. It's a whole different animal. You go do that in prison, you will get stabbed because you respect each other's space. You know we live in a tight space. You respect other people's boundaries. Like little things I always tell you about. You don't go into another person's cell. Even if the door is open, you knock on the door frame. The metal door frame. You just don't walk into a person's house. That's what we call it. And that's what it is. I'm not talking about your best friend and you're back and forth and you're partying or whatever. I'm talking about dude coming up to you for something, they want something, you think he's gonna open your door? No, he ain't gonna fucking do that. That's respect. It's total respect in the prison system, and it never ends. That's exactly what you have to have in prison, and you have to have that respect. So, and it is known and everybody knows it, but that's what I talk about, amplifying things. And especially like in an incident, if you get in trouble in prison and with somebody owing, you don't owe somebody money in prison. You don't do that. You just don't do that. You got to be an idiot to do that. You don't get into debt. You don't hit on somebody's girl or guy or whatever you want to call it. You don't steal. People like that get fucked up in prison. They get stabbed. They get killed. Everything's amplified in prison. That's what I meant by that. So it's not like what you're thinking on the streets. Oh, they're gonna charge me with another crime. Yeah, they're gonna charge me with another crime because I killed you. That's what's gonna happen. Or the guy's gonna stab me. And listen, I got away with it a couple of times. Everybody knows that. But things happen. That's just, it's the life we lived in prison is the life we live. That's it. And these guys are living it different. What I'm learning is every country, every area has the same things. Total respect, and remember that. Always remember that.
The transition from inside to outside is blinding.
If ever you want a reminder that we're inside a maximum prison here in Greece, you only have to look at the guard tower with the guard poised with what looks like a submachine gun.
I don't think anybody looks at that prison, Raph, and says, oh, we're not in a prison or in a bad situation. obviously the gun tower is not what did it for me. It's the way people are, the tightness of their quarters, the closeness. Obviously people walk in the track, that's so normal. People walk the track, people work out, and look at the stuff they made it. You know, this is what was cool I saw, and I want you to see something here.
Antonis is so dedicated to working to reduce his sentence, he hardly ever goes outside.
Ναι, αλλά έχω τόσες μήνες που δεν έχω βγει έξω.
When was the last time you came outside then?
Από 8 μήνες.
Hold on a minute, let me understand.
He hasn't been outside in 8 months, that guy. Wow. And that's because he gets timed off by all that work he's doing. I get it, but you know, you got to balance your mental health, and there's no way without seeing light and being inside. Listen to me, guys, it drove me crazy. It does. It drives you crazy. Don't ever think isolation doesn't drive you crazy. We're people. I'm a people person, and I need to connect with people in some way or another. And there's no way I can go that long. I did it, and I used to figure out ways to communicate with people with the lines under the doors, and play chess by knocking on the walls, and doing everything we did to stay connected with the society or keep your sanity. This is why it's tough, and it goes for everywhere. That this is just a human nature. Doesn't matter what prison you're in.
And are you saying to me that you haven't come out onto this exercise yard for 8 months?
Yes.
Why?
Και περνάω και την ώρα εκεί, δεν με φτάνει ο χρόνος για να βγω και στο πράγμα.
Oh, what's this? This is the weights?
Now I'm out here, it's a chance to see the prison gym.
You know, there it is. That is gym equipment. And you know, we did it all the same way. We used to have water bottles. We didn't have bottles. You couldn't have bottles like that. What we did was we used to make water bags. We'd actually have a water bag, a garbage pail filled, because a gallon of water weighs 8 pounds, just to let you know. So when you could fill up a gallon and you put up 2 gallons, it's 16 pounds, and put it on each end, and it's 32 pounds. And it's a lot harder to do than you'd think, because it's all about water weight, and it's actually balancing. That's when you get very strong. You know, that's how I got very strong forearms and stuff, because of the trying to balance any kind of weight you put on that thing. And then you gain different muscles. It's really actually a great workout.
I decide to test my strength against Costas, who looks like a serious weightlifter. I go first.
Okay. Yep. This is light.
Yeah, I give Raphael Rowe a lot of credit doing those things. I can't do them anymore. First of all, I want to get back in it, but this muscle, every time I try to do it, I don't know what to do. I got to get something. You know. But he's in good shape, Raph, and he's just showing. And we needed that. In prison, you need that, everybody. You need to be connected. You need to get that energy in there. You need to feel like you're alive, man. I mean, it's like anybody else. I don't care who you are. If you stay behind a computer screen too long, you don't feel alive. Whatever it is, you gotta feel alive, guys. You really do.
I knew that Antonis had been given a huge sentence for people smuggling, which Greece now classes as a very serious crime, which threatens its border security and risks migrants' lives.
How did you get involved in people smuggling?
This guy's a people smuggler. I mean, again, I don't like anything to do with human slavery, of course, anything of that nature, and if that's what's smuggling. But if it's smuggling just to get them across the border, to get them because they can get you into the, let's say, United States, I don't know if I consider that as bad of a crime. They want to try to help somebody get to a better place, even though they're charging money for it. It's a really very hard crime for me to see the hard sentences on.
Που έκανε τη δουλειά, αυτό το βοήθουσα. Κάποιος νοικιάζει αυτοκίνητα και εγώ είχα γνωριμία με αυτό και το γνώριζα σε κάποιους άλλους.
So you knew he was going to smuggle people?
Yeah.
So they're smuggling people. Now, if you're smuggling people for the wrong reasons, and I'm just saying not just across the border, I'm talking for slavery or prostitution, against their will, man, you should fucking die. And I get, you know, people say, well, Larry, what about the people that are smuggling people and then they're in a van and everybody dies because there's no ventilation? Yes, I get it. They should be held accountable. There should be something to be held. But I don't even know why. I guess you can also go back to the cause and effect. I mean, we need people here in the United States to work, whatever it is, to make money, to send back to Mexico, wherever it is. And they need the work. So you're not going to stop it. As long as people are doing it from their own free will, I'm okay with it. I know I'm probably going to fucking make a lot of enemies out of that one, but it's a tough one for me.
What happened next?
Με βγάλανε ένταλμα σύλληψης και οι άλλοι 4 από 55 χρόνια.
So you're doing 55 years.
Και 500.000 ευρώ πρόστιμο.
Do you accept your role for what was going on?
Στη στιγμή που μια γνωριμία έκανα, δεν πιστεύω να
That guy got 55 years for an introduction. You know, maybe countries... Listen, every country has its good and bad. We know that. Every country has its laws, too. So I can't... Like, that's his laws. And that's with him. I mean, obviously, we're looking at the conditions in a prison, which, again, it's an American prison, if you ask me. But I will say this. Just like you could... You know, with Russia does its own thing. We know that, don't go there. Here, don't go here. You know that the seriousness of anything to do in Greece like this, forget it, man. Why would you even think about doing something like that? You know, there's something for giving a hard sentence. There is something for that. Now, I think the crime should fit the punishment. You shouldn't give a sentence of 50 years like whatever it is for an introduction. So I think, you know, all societies get lost in the laws, and I know the United States does it, totally. So let's continue.
When you met with these smugglers, what did they promise you?
على اساس ما ببنت بوبرغاليا راس بچم پارك زيدش بهند مدا بوبرغاليا راس بچم باشي اوانا حلال مكر اسينم فيري حتى قاچاخيه دا
You see, this is kind of like, you know, I think these people get caught in the middle of this. They're trying to get somewhere or get smuggled without papers or whatever. And then I mean, who do you go to, you know? I always say, that's why I wore this shirt. So you can keep a secret too, Dad. You know, you do something with somebody, they do it, and then they're gone. Nobody knows it. You're the only one. Good for you. You can get away with it. I was never a smuggler. I was never a drug dealer, and I'm glad I wasn't, because of there's too many people on both ends that are gonna fuck you up, and it's still that way, and that goes today. I don't think that's gonna change. Chotas, as they say in chota in Spanish, rata, a lot of different ways, but everybody knows what they are. They're cheese-eating motherfuckers.
Aside from all the people smugglers in this prison, they have another big challenge. When I arrived here, I was told that 50% of new inmates tested positive for drugs. My own cellmate Nico was a heroin addict.
50% of the people in this prison are drug addicts coming in. I think that shows something for your society. I don't think we're at that level. Definitely not in the feds at that big of a level. There is a drug addicts, obviously. But that's usually in your county jails, and that's in your stuff like that. It's not in the prisons that I'm used to. This prison is actually pretty much proactive with helping the person get off drugs. That's something to say. I think they should do this before. I mean, I don't know, how do you stop smuggling? Smuggling is the big one thing. The people smuggling is one of the things that I think have confused me for many, many years. And people go, what do you mean, Larry? And I said, no, yes, it confused me because you're trying. I don't see the negative except against the government that you're trying to get, I guess, get a person into, smuggling the person into. Yes, it's happened, but what's the difference? I almost think of it as, wow, it's fucked up on this one, guys. I really am. I want to see people come here because, one, we need them. Two, I understand the land of opportunity and freedoms and what you want to make better for your family and your loved ones, as everybody wants to, everybody. And I don't care what country you go to, you want the best for your family, or you want to make things better. and that's why you do what you do. That's the initial fucking foundation for everything, for the crime itself. Usually, unless it's an addict, you just became an addict as a kid and you had a problem, you know, that kind of stuff. But even becoming an addict, it's robbing to get the drug fix and everything else. That's a whole different animal. I'm talking about you always want more. You want more, you want better for your family. That's what most criminals are all about.
This therapeutic community in overcoming your drug dependency, which drives your crime.
Εγώ από μικρό παιδί είχα φτιάξει μια εικόνα για μένα ότι είμαι εγκληματίας, είμαι κακοποιός και ότι δεν έχω κάτι καλό μέσα μου. Πράγμα που τελικά ισχύει το ακριβώς αντίθετο.
You know, I love to see countries or anybody getting to the root cause of things. And, you know, you think about my root causes, everybody's root causes, but they're trying to help people here. And I like these kind of prison shows.
Nico has been admitted to the drug therapy program before, but he couldn't take the intensity of it and soon dropped out. Now he's desperate for another chance.
You know, these guys have chances to go in and out of rehab. That alone is good, because they will make it when they want. You know, what these shows show me is, doesn't matter what country it is, it's humans. We get older. You know, that's why I believe in change, man. I don't care who you are out there, please don't ever believe people don't change, they change. You know, I ever hear people say, oh, lepers don't change their spots, you know, it's a criminal, always gonna be a criminal. It's not true. It's not true. Believe in change and believe people can change, because I see it every day. And you've changed yourself. I don't care who you are. Always remember that. Well, I want to thank anyway Raphael Rowe inside the toughest prisons, and he was in the Greece. I want to thank all the people there as well. Listen, I try to give a little bit of different view of my view of prisons and how they are. Listen, prison is prison. You know, what people don't have to understand, it's about leaving your family and being away from the loved ones, period. Can't take that away, no matter what country, where it is, you can't take that away. Have a great day, everybody. Please stay safe, make good choices. Wherever you are watching these things, make good choices. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe.